Hello everyone, welcome to the Atelier Nekazuki stream. My name is Katie. We are going to be doing some catch up here. I'm just making sure that we're broadcasting to YouTube so I can post the link. Amazing. Today we are working on what I affectionately call gyoza bags or dumpling bags. We obviously have a big pile of them cut from for Otafest, and so now it's just time to kind of catch up on the stuff that didn't get done for Otafest. We have a bunch of these, we got a bunch of belt bags, we got a bunch of mini traveler slings, which by the way, we only have 4 traveler slings right now. So definitely going to be working on them. I'm just going to stretch my goodness, Streamlabs really does like to take up a lot of room. Okay. I like being able to see Streamlabs so that I can see what the hell you're seeing in real time. Okay. Scrolly, scrolly, scrolly. Hey Flynn Plan, how are you? Mama Bird is definitely back. We actually have, so we've got, oh, okay. I saw 2 nests earlier. We actually have 3 nests up there. And a 4th on the other side here as well. Hi, that's not for you, but okay. Here, come down. He's like, nah, man. I am King Cat. Hi, King Cat. Anyway, we're kind of having a chill time. It's my eldest's birthday today. Feels weird that they're at school and not at home. Dude, don't itch. You've been itching too much. Hey, 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 stop scratching. Stop scratching. Anyway, so let's post this link. Sorry, really slow start today, apparently. Brains aren't braining properly. Okay, all right, bud. I need the fabrics. If he doesn't move, we should probably, honestly, we probably should just do this on the cutting table anyway because it is a lot of flat work. I should have thought of before I came on stream. My God, it's glorious outside. I'm in like, my body is 100% like, you need to go into full recovery mode. None of this saying it's your sewing machine nonsense. Anyway, but this is like the one period of the year right now where we actually have any kind of catch-up time, so we kind of have to work on it. Come on, buddy. Come. Whoa. It's like, hell no, lady. Here, sit here. Sit with me. I know, but I need to work. I know, but I need to work. I don't want to, but I have to. It's like no massaging. Here. So you have a cat tree here. There we go. Is that a good spot? You got a good view? Better view than me. You can hear the birds. You can feel the breeze. He did enjoy it last time, so hopefully he enjoys it this time. All right. Oh shoot, we got to do the repairs on a couple things. Okay. Focus in here, and then we can do that work later. Okay. Shit. Okay, these all have to go on my lap. So what we have to do is we have to prep these so that basically what we do is we go in. Yeah, that's not gonna stay on my lap. Joke's on me. Okay. So, prep them this way. These are all, this time they are lined with, oh no, they're still lined with a black twill. Not the same black twill as last time, but comparable. They were both in the same order when I was still experimenting with them. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to fold into the middle here. In theory, they should all be squared up. Hopefully. Because everything needs to kind of match right there, like that. I'm going to call that square enough. And then what she has for measurement across here, I've always got stuck on the fact that this is supposed to be like 13 centimeters from the edge. By the way, this is a free tutorial on YouTube. I can't remember who put it out. I think it's Hanako Handicraft. Anyway, so I've always been like caught up on the fact that she says that it's supposed to be 13 centimeters. Okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense, because then that's like 11 centimeters here, which means that that should be 13. Perfect. Yeah, so it is a square. Amazing. We actually did it this time. Okay. And yes, I did, in fact, invest in a centimeter ruler when I was in Japan. Dawson's like, you can't get this in Canada? I'm like, you would think so, but not at the price that I could pay for it. And he's like, well, why don't you go with a longer one? And I'm like, because it won't fit in the suitcase. Or else I would. Although, honestly, this is probably enough. So, okay. So these sides get fully stitched, and then these sides get stitched to that mark that I just put in. And then we'll go in and we will mark the interior fabric as well. Okay, I want this to be the bag interior. And I'm hoping that what ends up happening now too is that the stitching that we do to close this bag up will be that much easier on the cylinder arm is what I'm thinking. The cylinder arm has been amazeballs for, it helped a lot in the Kato production for Otafest. And I just did a custom order as well for Chi-Chi Kimono. She gave me an obi that she's like, I just don't use it in dressing anymore, so she wanted a bag out of it. We did Glenda out of it, and it came together really well on the cylinder arm as well. Very pleased with it. And this is hard to communicate like in photos and stuff like that, but I've been sewing for actually a photo just came up on my Facebook. I've been sewing for 12 years now, and like just the shift that I've had recently in like how professional my bags look in person, if I'm gonna toot my own horn here, has like increased significantly. And it's just such a cool thing to have seen, to be honest. Okay, do you know what I think we're actually going to do is as much as I want to chain pieces and stuff like that, I think we are going to go in and sew these as we go here, because that'll keep linings lined up with like fabrics they're supposed to be with. We'll just sew the short sides, because that makes sense in my brain. And then we'll come back and we'll do the interiors afterwards. Okay, what does she recommend for a seam allowance? So today's May 28th. 1.5. 1 second. Oh, and actually, perfect. Yeah, so it's Hanako, Hanaco Handicraft. I'm just trying to see what she says for, they say for a seam allowance. Prepping still. I think it's probably 1 centimeter, which is about 3/8. Yeah, okay. All right, and as I mentioned, what we're going to do is we're going to sew, I think we're just going to sew the 13 centimeter marks. In my brain, that makes sense. Hi, Flynn. Yeah, we'll just do the 13 centimeter because it's kind of the place where it's like you need to be able to actually see the marks and everything, and then the other ones we can just go straight across, sort of thing. Yes, I know. Hey, stay out of that bin. No, you can sit anywhere else you want, just not in the bin, please. I'm watching you. Like, sure, whatever, lady. Holy fuck. Okay, there's the mark. Okay, that is the mark. Like, where did it go? I swear it was here. It's too small of a seam allowance, but... Okay. All right. So we are taking a lot of the cuts. Ooh, this one is not square. No. Sometimes you have to pull it a different way to make it square. Let's see. Hell yeah. We got it. Anyway, a lot of these are the back cuts from the tote bags that we're not going to use anymore. A lot of them are the cuts. Actually, no, I think we amalgamated a lot of the large box bags in the kato. Some of the newer fabrics, they are the back cuts for the kato because we are no longer producing large box bags. Speaking of which, I need to actually email my wholesalers and be like, all right, you want stuff from the catalog, please order it now because I'm going to be going in and making cuts. Yeah, we can make that work. I really don't have much to say right now. Life's been stupid busy and super boring at the same time. Otafest went really well. It was a weird weekend, I will say that. So Friday we did really well for sales. We doubled what we did over last year. And Saturday was half, which, oh my God, panicking. And then we were up 50% on Sunday. It's just so overall we were up, but I'm like, what is going on? Apparently Artist Alley on the Saturday was super busy, which good for them. Do not begrudge the Artist Alley. But it was weird. I know that I've said before that I've been toying with going to Expo and stuff like that, but I have come to the conclusion that I will just be doing, when I can no longer do Peace Fibre Festival, I'm just going to chill and focus on Otafest instead. Yeah, we did, some of that sales drop is definitely because I did not have a lot of my midline products, like the Traveler Slings, the Obi and stuff like that, right? So I was like, okay, next year we need to have more like Obi products in that price range that's like, yeah. If I'm smart, I probably could just mark this once, right? I don't need to fold everything in. I'm currently reading Ballad of the Fallen Dragon for book club, and I am completely lost. I cannot tell what this story is supposed to be accomplishing anymore. And I'm like, so the first book, it was kind of like, okay, we're going to go up against this like tyrant king, blah, 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 blah. And then it got kind of messy, and I'm like, ooh, I like the messiness of it. Sweet. Can totally get behind this. I want to know what happens with all these characters. And now I'm here like, what are we doing? Like, they're like, this is going to happen in 15 days. And now she's like climbing a tower for a dragon. And this is not the right kind of messy. I'm like, I thought that we were like supposed to be defeating a king and like protecting these people. And then it's just like, nope, joke's on you. That's not what's happening. I'm like, okay. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see. No, I don't know. The thing is it's like, it's so completely lost the plot. I don't actually know if I'm going to finish or not. I don't DNF very often, but I'm like, there's no story. I think that's where I'm at right now. Is I'm like, I cannot, for the life of me, tell what the story is. And then there's a bunch of plot points where I'm like, pretty sure you're not supposed to know that. At least not yet. And like, how did you find out this? So I'm like, did we skip? And I just was like blanked out because I'm listening to the audiobook or what? So like, I had a hard time with the first one anyway. And then this is just like, I am baffled about what's going on. Yes, I am using black thread for all of these because I'm just, we're not worried about it. We'll worry about it for the top stitching. We're not going to worry about it for the body stitching. Yep. Okay, that just wandered a little bit too far over. There we go. Sweet. So we're getting everything lined up here for the summer as well. So we're busy. Not as busy as last year though, because I did not get accepted into Vibrations in August. That's fine. But I am at H&R's Yarn Stampede Pancake Breakfast in July 11th. And then we're at Omatsuri, which is the Japanese festival, on July 17th and 18th, which is the night market plus the day. And then we'll be at, and then August off. I'm actually going to be able to just like have an actual vacation, which is fucking awesome. And then we'll be at Knit City in September. And then I am back in Japan in October to pick up the order from Day Day House, Natsumi. And then we will be at Art Market in November, which is super exciting. I should probably post a graphic on my Instagram or something like that, but we'll get there. Yeah. Quite happy. I feel like, when's the next like shop update coming? It will be, I think, middle of June. I'm gonna finish up this DIY market, and then I will photograph stuff like next week. I'm not gonna have a chance this week because it's supposed to be rainy AF this weekend, and we have a doctor's appointment for the or I have a doctor's appointment for the eldest tomorrow, so it's kind of like, well, that puts a kibosh on the plans for sewing tomorrow, which is fine. Shit happens. Oh, some of these are so good. So once we get these stitched, we've got a lot of the handles from the tote bags that we can go in and do, like, I think we just need to trim them down. So we'll pair them up after this. Again, if you want to make these bags yourselves, that's the Hanako Handicraft tutorial, Hanaco Handicraft. I did actually see this style in Kyoto when I was there, like in 2023, 3 years ago now, guys. Oh my god. And then over the summer, the tutorial popped up on my YouTube. I'm like, amazing. It's like, you knew. Such a cute style. The ones now, to be fair, the ones that I saw when I was in Kyoto were like patchwork, so way more work than mine. But I figure this is good in between. I like not having to interface them. That's why we go, although that is why I go with a little bit heavier weight fabric, is because then it gives it a little bit of heft, but it's not like insane. Kind of coming up on end of year for everything. School, sparks, just like, this is insane. We're halfway through soccer already for this, like, for their season, basically, because I don't do summer soccer. I'm like, that's a lot. Yeah, and I booked in with the same place that we stayed at in March for this next trip in October because it was like $80 versus $300. Can't really beat that. And it has like, and I know a bunch of breakfast options are on there now too. Like the bakery I keep daydreaming about. This is for the trip in October. Thank fuck I booked my flights when I did, because at least for the WestJet ones in like February, they've gone from like $1,000 to $2,000. Even when I booked mine in, like, so I used points, so I didn't actually pay anything for it, but like the points conversion was like $1,500 in October. I'm like, gross. Usually it's like I can get that well under 1,000. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. You are going to get set aside because your fabric's been tagged for something else. 20, at least until I figure out if I've got more of it. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And we've already done like 6. Okay, 5 or 6. I feel like going full send on these is fine. They're one of those ones that was a little bit quiet for sales, but I also didn't fully commit to them last year. I also got to figure out the pricing on them because I think they were like too cheap, which is wild to say. But yeah, we'll figure out where they're gonna go. Pricing is I'm gonna have to like shuffle everything around a little bit because I just had to do all my supply orders and everything has gone up. And I'm like, fuck, I didn't want to do this year. I don't think it's going to be anything too insane, but it is going to have to go up. I'm also coming to the realization of this needs to pay me a little bit better. Since it does take a lot of time away from my kids. And I think that that's a fair statement. Plus, skill level. I shouldn't, yeah. Always paid myself what I considered a skilled wage, but that skill has also increased since. It's not called a skill wage. It's a specialized wage. Yeah. Now, do I think I'm going to get all of these done for Sunday? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Maybe. Probably. I feel like these are something that I can achieve. Doesn't mean probably a late sewing night tonight. I don't know how busy this event's going to be on Sunday, so I'm kind of like, I'm not overly like concerned. Should I be working on like something like the Kato? Probably, but gyoza needs to be restocked too, so. So both the kids' birthday parties went off without a hitch. One in early May, one in just this past weekend. Cakes came together really well this year. I feel like the cake I made for my eldest's party was one of the best cakes, like flavor and everything wise. It was one of the best cakes I've done ever. One of my commitments to them and to myself, they don't know this, but I do, was that I wanted to be the mom who made the cakes. I remember having pretty awesome cakes when I was a kid. It's wild, but anyway. Actually, I guess that kind of makes sense. Never mind. But yeah, I've actually improved even in my cake making over the last, 6 years. I did not make my youngest's second birthday cake because I wanted something extremely specific, and I think we were just super busy that year. But anyway, yeah, the eldest had a unicorn castle theme. We wanted a strawberry flavored cake. So I used a recipe off All Recipes. And the nice thing about it was that it was like, instead of an oil based, it was actually butter based. Oh, it was so good. And it used up all the like berries in my freezer that have been there for probably a little bit too long. Couldn't tell, so that was okay. This one's a little bit smaller, so we're gonna go with that right there. Yeah, and then a cream cheese icing, which was fucking delicious. I think the icing was definitely the best icing I've ever made because it actually piped correctly. Made a Pokemon cake for my youngest, and or not a Pokeball cake, and it like bled everywhere. I was just like, it was so sloppy. It was fine. It tasted fine. It like everything was fine. But yeah, this cream cheese icing was definitely better. So I think that's what I'll use for cake icing from now on. It also adds a nice like tangy counterbalance to the cake as well, which I enjoy. My kids aren't like big cake eaters anyway, so it has to be something like I enjoy. And then we went and we ran Calgary half on Sunday, and Dallas broke his 1:30 barrier, which is super fucking cool. It's fast, y'all. It's also a good indicator that he can do a 3 hour or a 3:05, which is the current qualifying time for Boston. For his age group. So now he needs to do it twice, basically, for a 3 hour. And I did really fucking good, considering like that I did not run. I ran 5 times since February. So the half, I was expecting a 3:30. I got a 3:06.25. Moving time of like 2:45 or something like that. Which 2:50. Anyway, 10 minutes less, because I really had to pee at like kilometer 6, and the lineup for the porta potty was really long. But so I'm really pleased with that result, considering that, yeah, like I went in untrained, well underprepared. It was like perfect weather. The only problem with this is that it pissed me off, because so when I ran Osaka in February, I got swept at 39.4. And you're like, well, why does it piss you off that you got a 3:06 in Calgary? Because it was the sweep in Osaka ended up being only weather-based. I had a full within the time limit within me if it weren't for the weather. And it's just like, so it's like one of those situations where you can do all the training, you can be prepared as you can and everything, and sometimes forces outside of your control crater you. So it was good, but also like, yeah, pisses me off. If I'd had the weather that we had, like Calgary was fucking amazing. So the last couple of years it's been either like, last year was super hot, this year it was, or the year before it was windy and shitty. And this year was finally like probably the best weather we've ever had for Calgary. It was like no higher than 12 to 14 degrees. Later in the race, it became partially overcast and like all sorts of things. Like it just couldn't have asked for better weather. So, yeah, but we did it. And Dallas is extremely pleased, as he should be, with his like sub 130. So, ooh, that needs a trim down because it needs to have this is really big, excuse me, selvage. Also feel like it's a really big gyoza bag and I don't feel like sewing it, so there we go. The other thing is, I don't feel like sewing it. Okay. All right. So these were all cut and prepped for Otafest, and I spent too much time prepping and not enough. I didn't have enough time to sew, which was the eternal downfall, right? These are like monochrome hedgies, so they're very like cute little subtle hedgies, bunch of little hedgy faces and stuff like that. Totally just fucked that up, didn't I? Yeah, my marks are, nope. Okay, no, the marks are there. Good. We didn't completely miss it. Okay. It's supposed to start raining right as we start soccer tonight. I'm like, please just hold off for like an hour. It's also, though, it is saying it's still supposed to get up to 26. It's currently 22, so I do believe that at least. Summer is here. Maybe a little bit larger bag. I like that there's a little bit of variance in like sizing on these. Hey Flynn, what's up? Wow. Wow. I see you over there, don't worry. You're quite a handsome boy. Very handsome. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with the other Shiba. We're going to trim it down a little bit. It's just a little bit too large, to be honest. So one, okay. And then because I always do this and I'm like annoyed with myself, I'm going to do this in counts of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We definitely have some new fabrics in here, which is fun. I'm excited about that. A couple of them are directional, but oh well. Okay, so that's 5. And then this will be 1, 2. Oh, that's going to be a cute one. 3, 4, 5. That's 10. 1. I don't know how this is going to be demarcated, but whatever. 2. 3. 4. 5. So 15. 1. 2. 3. 4. 20. These budgies are going to be cute. Okay. Good enough, right? Good enough. I don't want to be doing this right now. I don't even know what I want to be doing right now. I feel like I want to be like, don't even know right now. It's like, this is what I love to do, but I don't want to be doing it. Which tells me I'm probably slightly on the edge of burnout. No. It's all good. We'll survive. Actually, when I'm on the edge of burnout, it is nice when it's just like we just have stuff prepped and you're just kind of going along. There are a few new things that I need to like work out over the summer. We've had a couple special requests for like chalk bags. I don't want to deal with your salvage either. Okay. They're cute, but it's like that's too big a salvage for what we're doing. Anyway, it will come back later. I will trim those down and we'll get them sewn. But yeah, we've had a couple special requests for chalk bags and cycling caps. And actually, someone the other day asked for a welding cap. I'm like, that's basically the same as a baseball or a bicycle cap. So yeah, we'll try. I just realized I wonder if there's like certain requirements that we need to have. But it's covered by a helmet, right? But like, do I need to use? I guess it's like it needs to be all natural fabric, probably. But do I need to use stuff like fire resistant thread? At least like a bicycle cap, there's no concern about like sparks falling on it. Well, in the normal course of use. Obviously, if you're using it around like a campfire or something like that, that might be a concern. But okay. On these lighter fabrics, I am using an air erasing pen, and then we're using the chalk on the interior of on the black so that it actually shows up. Wish it was a little bit easier. I should have done this like marking up on the table, but then the air erase marks would erase. Yay! I think it is still more efficient to just, I know it's task switching, and task switching kills time, but because typically I'm very like production sewing, but this does feel like it's maybe the most efficient way. I think she actually marks her like markings with pins, but I hate sewing with pins. So here we are. We're on time. It also keeps the interior fabric lined up with the exterior fabric that it matches, because these were all cut to match. So Interior is a very light kind of canvas, not something that we would use on the kato. The kato is a heavier canvas. This is a lighter canvas, and then the kato. Basically using what I have because this was purchased a long time ago now. You're not square. And you're pretty close to square. We're gonna pretend you're square. How about that? Square enough, right? Square enough. I swear I squared all these up when we were cutting, I promise. But fabric has a mind of its own. And probably the studio gremlins have been in because we haven't been in the studio enough recently, so they've been messing with everything. Obviously. Something's definitely been messing with my button press. Because it has like completely shifted. So I'm gonna have to get Dallas to take his tools when he's home. Because I'm like, I probably could do it, but I do not fucking know where a large enough Allen hex key is for it. I'm just like, damn it. I tried to fix it while I was at Otafest because I was like, we are running low on buttons. And buttons are a nice little like just cheaper pickup, right? But nope. Quest denied. Could not get it. And basically it looks like what happened is it just kind of has slipped out of alignment. So get him to look at that. He's home next week maybe. So the truck is packed for Inglewood, which is good. I had to like unload stuff yesterday and swap it around, so we did that. Also because I needed my snap press for the custom for Chi Chi. I was like, where the hell is my snap press gone? Because I thought I brought it downstairs after Otafest, and then I was like, no, it's in the suitcase in the truck still. So I'd taken it to Otafest to do, what were we doing? Actual snaps. Not like rivets or anything like that. Actual snaps. Because I had done a bunch of, I got a bunch of snap-up trays finished. So, which I need to keep in mind in future does not work well with, they do not play well with the cotton linen blends. Cotton linen blends are a little bit too heavy for it, so that's good to know. We're kind of stuck with what we've got right now, so I will persevere, but yeah, we won't be doing, or I'll be doing them larger, and then the snap up, like they'll be a larger tray basically. But the way they're set up right now, the snaps are actually not far enough apart to work. So I'm like, oh, well, that is unexpected. I should have anticipated, but you know, sometimes you just don't. Wynn's having a snooze over here, snuggled into his pile of whip bags. My studio is in an absolute chaotic state right now. I need to go in and like clean up. The big thing is actually finishing some stuff up. I'm really debating some of the things that are in here currently that I'm like, I'll totally finish those, or I'm gonna mod them so that I can finish them. I think a lot of it we're just going to like finish and put into the discontinued bin because it's just like some of this stuff is really old, guys. And as I was mentioning earlier, the skill that goes into the bags now versus then is noticeable. Which, thank hallelujah that my skills have continued to grow, because can you imagine if I was doing this much sewing and I was still bad? Like, no, I wasn't bad at it before, but like my learning has increased the professionalism of them. So can you imagine if I'd stagnated? It would have been so annoying. I broke the bobbin thread, or we are out of bobbin thread. Let's find out. That looks like it's probably broken thread. Yep. A little bit too far for the bobbin to like the chain piecing on these bags, but that's okay. We'll continue on as we have been. Okay. Right here, big yawn. Actually, I'm already starting to get shows lined up for next year too, which is super exciting. Got a couple things like getting lined up for February. Early February, no less. It's so hard to, like, now that I conquered Calgary and know I have it in me to finish Osaka, it's like, I really want to, like, throw my name in for the freaking lottery again. It's crazy. Like, the plan that I have currently is a far better plan. It doesn't mean that I don't have the urge to just, like, say fuck it and try again this year. I want to train for a marathon this year. The whole idea is to, like, have a year off. And, like, regain strength and do the physio for the pelvic floor, because that is part of it, is that I definitely had some knee niggles and stuff like that that need to be taken care of. It's physio, but it's also like, just get your goddamn strength training back, being Katie. So, like, just focusing on some other stuff rather than just the running, because endurance running takes a lot of time for me. I've got other things I need to prioritize this year, because it always feels like, especially when I'm training endurance like that, because I am so slow, it's like something always has to drop, right? So it always feels like I have, like, I only have 2 feet, and it feels like I need like 6 to 8 in so many different camps, right? So and one of the things that is optional is, here's the thing, I do run for health. Exercise is good. I would still argue that marathon training is not necessarily good for your health. It's like, if you don't have to go to that extreme for it to be healthy. That's what you enjoy, go, and you have the time and ability and the money, the finances to do it, go for it. But yeah, I think you get just as much or more benefits in some ways from the 5 and 10, even maybe a half. Yeah. Go, please. Thank you. Like, this gum is done. Get out of here. What am I rolling over? Well, we're trying to roll over all sorts of scraps on the floor. Flynn just started, like, purring out of nowhere in the background here. He's like, Flayton is my cat. Norwegian forest cat. He's an orange boy. If you've seen the logo, that's what the logo is actually based off of, is a Norwegian forest cat. But obviously a calico, so, because why not? Yeah. She still doesn't really have a name, but we'll figure it out. Flim flam. Oh. Yeah. What did you see that woke you up? The birds are not here right now. They are nearly done the construction on our roundabout here in Cochrane. Literally, I think there's a little bit of concrete work that I can see. I know there's probably a bit more up north on the 22. But they repaved the other day, which thank God, because they did like a pavement cut that everyone had to slow down for, because it was basically like you either slow down or you get taken out. But now it's all paved, painted lines. I think they're pretty much done, which is amazing. At least the road works part of it, right? So there's always going to be like, there's a couple other things of like landscaping, it feels like, and they're doing something to the bridge. I don't know what they're doing to the bridge, but they're doing something. And then the next thing that we're currently apparently in the design phase for is like the next section of twinning, which is going to be brutal, because the portion that like, this was a little bit brutal because they had to cross CP, which is our rail line, but like the next set, it has to go over the river. So I can see that needing some, well, who knows what this fucking government, I was gonna say some more like environmental consultation, stuff like that. I don't know. Something, but necessary, because it's kind of the next like choke point, and they keep adding houses on that end of town without adding in the highway infrastructure that's kind of required for it. It's like, guys, stop approving stuff on that end. So at least until we get the like infrastructure required. I don't know how you do that. It's like, we're definitely in a stage of like build it and they will come in Cochrane, but the services are maybe a bit lacking in some areas. I say as I am also in one of those new neighborhoods. It's not like we bought something that was established. Because this house is like 6 months older than the house that we built, actually 7 months older or something like that, contemporary to what we were at the same building at the same time. if you're curious what's up here, I call them the gyoza bag because they're like little hexagon bags when we actually like finish sewing them, but then they like pop out and you lift them up and they look like dumplings. So I call them gyoza bags because you gotta have fun with it. Right? And most of my like bags are very straightforward naming conventions. Small box bag, large wedge bag, small wedge bag, etc. Have your pick. I guess that might be the most original, being just copying the pattern. Kato drawstring. So exciting. Anyway, these are the most exciting names for a bag that I have. Gyoza bags. Ooh, I saw a new massage therapist yesterday, and she was actually really good. Don't get me wrong. Either of my like old massage therapists came back and said, "Hey, we're starting to do massage again," I would drop her in a minute. However, I've been on the search for a new massage therapist, and I got recommended this woman by a friend, and she's really good. So, finally. Dawson found one that he really likes too, but I can't, and they're good enough. But one time I did go see them, they like went over by 15 minutes, and I'm like, I'm typically booking these so that I'm like not breaking up my day too much, i.e. in the kids' schedule, and if you go over by 15 minutes, I couldn't trust that I wouldn't be late to pick up my kids, so that kiboshes that plan right there. Okay, sorry, give me a second. This one is fighting. Are you actually... Okay, first question first. Are you... You were not fucking square. No wonder you're fighting me. Look at that. Look at that waver along that line. Okay. I thought I squared you all up. Dun, 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 dun. Lies. There we go. Okay, that should work, hopefully. At least it'll be a bit better. Wrong way, Katie. Brains are not working. Brains are on vacation. Without me actually vacationing. Okay, so Tokyo Hands is one of my favorite like variety stores in Japan. But the Shinsaibashi one closed sometime between when I went in 2018 and when I got back in 2022. They're just gone. And now I just found out that the Hands in Shibuya is also going to be closing in November. I'm like, no. So I'm going to make sure that I actually get down to see them. Because that's sad. I've been going there for a very, very long time. Actually, I don't remember. Maybe not the first, like, on exchange, but definitely, like, after that. So it's been, like, 10 years. And I know that that doesn't sound like a long time, and especially considering that's been there for, like, 48 years. But, like, definitely feels a lot like what's kind of happening in Canada and the US with, like, all the private equity shit. And it's like, you guys need to stop. This is not... There's a lot of good things about being an adult, but there's definitely not what I anticipated about being an adult, given, yeah, there is a disconnect between what we kind of saw as kids and what we saw maybe as our potential for our futures. And I know people have always struggled. I'm talking from very much from a place of, well, I'm not even going to say that because, like, dad and mom always ran in a deficit. That's the best description, considering that, like, he was a tradesman, she was stay at home. Like, we were definitely not of the... I hate these descriptions. I think working class is still the best description. But, like, definitely not on the high end of that working class. There was definitely a lot of taking advantage of those, like, I remember this distinctly, and this is not something I ever want to, like, discuss around my kids. But definitely for my parents, it was, like, a lot of, like, taking advantage of that. Like, if you transfer your debt, you get 0%, like, credit cards and stuff like that. Like... Or was it balance transfer schemes and stuff like that? I don't know how they did it. Like, good on them. They made it work for what they had, but yeah. Very curious. Like, so I'm estranged from my parent, or have been estranged from my parents, and my dad passed away. How long I've been estranged? I've been estranged from my parents since 2018, I think. Like, went no contact in May or June of 2018, and then saw them one time, I think, in, like, something November, and, like, fully cut contact at that point. They showed up on my doorstep, and yeah, that did not go well for them. Very good decision for myself. But my dad passed away at the end of January last year, which, as someone who is estranged from their parents, let me tell you, it is a very weird experience. Especially when it's, like, the parent that you didn't necessarily want to cut contact with. So, like, I cut full contact with both my parents because my dad was an enabler, and that's, yeah, so you're collateral to that relationship because you just know if I told anything to him, it was getting back to my mom, who was the person that I was most cutting contact with. But anyway, he passed away at the end of January last year. And my brother said that he'd been sick for, like, well over a year. So now I'm, like, morbidly curious about how they're actually supporting the acreage and everything like that. Like, did they... I guess maybe dad actually had a life insurance settlement or something like that. Like, I don't know how this works. It hasn't gone up for sale. So I'm like, okay. Is it still in probate? Like, but that feels weird, especially by now. You'd think that it would be cleared up. So, I don't know how shit works. Dallas at that point was like, do you think you're still in the will? And I'm like, I don't even know. Doesn't really matter. Kind of hope I'm not. kind of hope it's just like I've just been written out in some ways, and I kind of hope that I get, at the same time, I get DVC points so that we can sell them and like reinvest them in our own DVC points or something. I don't know. It'll be weird. It's also wild because it's like, for anyone who's not estranged, this isn't going to make sense, but I wish it had been my mom that passed instead of my dad, because I'm pretty sure I would have probably tried to reach out and actually reestablish a relationship with my dad. He would have been an absolutely amazing grandpa. So, anyway, he's been on my mind a lot the last few days too, so it's just kind of that time of year. Even though, like, there's zero, well, okay, it's the kids' birthdays, and especially, I think, the eldest, because when I had the eldest, I looked at them, and then I looked at Dallas, and I was like, because you always get told, it's like, well, you'll understand when you have your own kids. And I looked at him, and I'm like, no, this actually makes it worse. I fully do not understand. Like, I am not a perfect parent. I don't aim to be, I aim to be better. But, like, I'm never going to be perfect, right? No one is. But yeah, so, aim to be better. I think that's the motto. Anyway, I'm glad that his fabrics are here. And it's an absolutely fucking spectacular day. Also had a nap this morning. I think my body's still okay. So I do think the one fallout from having not trained for this half marathon this weekend is that my body is more fatigued. Although I slept like absolute crap last night, mostly because I'm unwell about the fact that I have a 6-year-old. One of the moms at soccer the other day was like, "Oh, that's a 2-hand age," and I'm like, "Oh," because I was thinking 10. That's a 2-hand age, right? But no, 6 is a 2-hand age. You need 2 hands to make a 6. And I was just like, well, just stab me and leave me bleeding here on the side of the fucking soccer field. Why don't you? Not her fault. She saw my, like, I'm pretty sure she saw the look of absolute devastation on my face. And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I'm like, "It's okay." But that has not left my brain, obviously. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, I know when that happened, but when did that happen? And now they're no longer the same age for another 11 months. Okay, I think we're going to try and finish these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and a half is the interior for this one. And then I'm going to go grab a drink. I didn't bring any of my like pops or drinks or anything down today. I also need to pee. So we'll see how long that lasts. I'm like, I'll finish these. And my bladder's like, we need to have a discussion, lady. How's that? It's pretty good, eh? This thing's coming a little bit. That needs to shimmy a little bit. I just realized that if I'm going into Tokyo. So the plan for October is like land, get on the bullet train, the Shinkansen, south. But I'm kind of like, I am really trying to figure out a way to not have any checked baggage. But so the hang up there being that the trekking backpack that I have is specifically for like going to Toji or the other temple markets, which I'll be at Kitano this time. And I'm kind of like, can I get away with like, I'm like really tempted to invest in a duffel backpack, because then I'd be able to pack all of my duffel bags in my carry-on. And if you're like, Katie, why not just use a duffel bag? Because it would hurt to move around, and I still have to I have to schlep it from Kitano up to Narita. After, like, so basically now we're out of bobbin thread. Of course. Okay, so these cats got sewn. Yeah, it's like, the duffel bag with 50 pounds in it is just, it's unruly. Oh no, it broke again. Okay, whatever. It's a little bit unruly, and like, I'm gonna have to take a bus from Kitano down to Kyoto Station. I guess I could get a taxi. I wonder how much the taxis are. Because, like, if I didn't have to get a bus, it would be a lot nicer, to be honest. That doesn't take away the fact that I still have to get, like, on a train, and then from a train, we're going to be going to Tokyo Station. And the nice thing is that my hotel is, like, a 10-minute walk from Tokyo Station. Or like, I think it's one train stop. But honestly, a 10-minute walk isn't going to be bad at that point. But that is like, there's a lot of contributing factors to the fact that I'm like, I don't think I want a duffel. So my option art is to take the trekking backpack, which is fine, but then I would have to check it, which it would take all the duffel bags. But if I could get away with not having to check a bag on the way there, I would be very happy, because then I could just walk off the plane and walk through customs. Because my plan is that I'll try and pack all my clothing into the 45 minus 13 is 32. Okay. I'm gonna, like, already the plan is to pack all of my clothing into I have like the square backpack, that like daily backpack. And I'm like, how would I carry all that onto the train? But we would, the backpack has like a carry-on, put it on your carry-on bag and roll it along strap. So that's fine. That works. So if anyone's used a duffel backpack and has a recommendation for something that would carry about 50 pounds, has to carry about 50 to 75 pounds, 70, please let me know. Of like, because yes, I don't know why I'm so obsessed with that plan, but I do think that it's one of the better ones. I know that I can carry 50 pounds in my trekking backpack though, so that's like, if I don't find something satisfactory, it's not a big deal. But like, always trying to ease up travel customs and everything, right? So actually, I wonder if Decathlon has travel duffels. I know we were there the other day and they definitely had some good backpacks, but I think the best option between size that I need and cost, because I don't want to be spending a crazy amount of money, is actually Helly Hansen on freaking Amazon. I'm like, okay, I wonder if Helly Hansen's got a sale bin right now or something. And here's the thing, the trekking backpack is not a waste. I would still be using it for like when we're still, like, we're already checking bags and stuff like that, because it just fits so well. Well, maybe not. Maybe I wouldn't. But like, it's gotten its use. It's not like I've let it sit around and not. So anyway, duffel backpack. That's what we're on the hunt for over the summer. That isn't $300. I'm like hoping for like 100 or under, or 150. I think if it, yeah. because the duffels worked extremely well for the fabric this time as well. That's the other portion of this, is that it's like if I get a duffel pack, I'm pretty sure it'll be lighter than the trekking pack, because the trekking pack is basically the same weight as a suitcase. Actually, even a little bit heavier potentially. So it'd be nice to like, I'm pretty sure the duffel packs are a little bit lighter than the actual trekking pack. And like when I consider how much I have to carry it and stuff like that, I think it would still be okay. Oh, especially if I did the shift of like, don't take the bus, take a taxi to Kyoto Station, because that is the one drawback to Kitano, is it's like in the boonies, whereas Toji is like an easy walk. If you're like, Katie, why aren't you going for Toji? Dallas's work schedule. The only one that would have lined up would be June, and it would actually conflict with preschool graduation, so I'm not skipping that because I would be very, very sad. Or at least I'm assuming it does, because like I will actually be really annoyed if preschool graduation is not that week, because it would have been very nice to have gone now, because Natsumi actually has my order, I think, mostly or already at this point. So it would have been like good to have that order before Knit City, but it's all good. Natsumi's busy. My own damn fault for not getting my order in earlier. This is not a complaint against Natsumi. This is just a complaint about timing and conflicting work schedules. I've actually never been to Japan in June either. It would have been fun this month, because it's like it would have been there over my birthday. Shakes fist at clouds. All right, we are almost done. Actually, these have come together decent. There is a lot of, these bags are mostly, well, okay. It feels like most arts and crafts, fiber arts, any arts really, so much time goes into prep. So much time. So we'll, yeah, take a breather after this is done, and then we'll do yeah, we're gonna do this, take a breather, and then I'll come back downstairs and we'll sew all the long line ones that are just stitched straight across. Those are actually easier. And then we're gonna need to go in and select the webbing pieces for them. I only have until 4, and then I have to head out because we have soccer tonight. And then, yeah, I will not be on tomorrow. I know my schedule's all fucked up right now, guys. I'm sorry. I will not be on tomorrow because I've got doctor's appointment for eldest we need to get to. And then, yeah, so a lot of the finishing work will probably happen off camera. Hoping that I can like maintain my energy the next couple nights, where I can come online in the evening after they go to bed. But we'll figure it out. If I have an afternoon coffee, I can. Even, well, okay, eldest has been waking up around like 11:30, so it's like probably could be work for, well, I guess it's like 2.5 hours if I get my ass in gear, get downstairs and like actually work. So we'll try. We'll see what happens. If you're like, Katie, you could have been on earlier today. Yeah, but I slept like shit last night, so I was not. I had a restorative nap instead. Which was a way smarter decision than anything else. I know the other thing, and then actually on Monday we're going to work on getting the dark stitched small box bags done. Those are all old fabrics, so it'll add some pizzazz in, and Caroline needs another restock, so we'll finish some of that up so that she's got some new bags to choose from. I don't have a lot of Kato left over from after Otafest, so we'll see how that goes. She might also end up with the rest of the Dunder, because I know she was saying that she wanted some of the like larger totes as well. Some, which then does not leave me with anything for an update. Damn. So if yeah, holy shit. Okay. Now we're going to need to like prep and sew for Omatsuri and stuff like that too. I feel like, Katie, what are you doing? I don't know anymore. We'll find out here in a moment if we're squared up proper. Because this feels like it's just fighting me really hard. Yeah. Mostly. Not too bad. We'll trim this down a bit. Go. Perfect. No. Does it need to be perfect? Also no. Okay. The fringe. Oh god. No. It's gonna cut off in like little strippy pieces. That's better. Okay. Still fighting a little bit, but that's good. It's just fabric fighting, not... This is not square fighting. Ooh, kids stayed over with their grandparents for their first, like, sleepover the other day. Went well, apparently. Although, apparently the youngest, like, starfished enough in the bed that they pushed their grandma out. I'm like, don't do that, dude. They've been sleeping in their bed so well recently. Until, well, the last few nights now. It's like, broke the sleeping in their bed so well. But anyway, they did good. Good enough, at least. So, just kind of nice. It does open up some time a little bit. So. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 left. I only got 2 done in that time. Okay. I guess that one fought pretty hard. Neon cat faces with the fish. The fishy fish. Although at the same time I'm like, oh, I've only been streaming for an hour and a half. So actually we've done pretty decent, all things considered. Figured out where that song came from, because I was like, I'm pretty sure this is called Popcorn. Turns out that my introduction to it would have been from Muppets back in like 2016 or something like that, in the Swedish Chef. So if you look up Swedish Chef Popcorn, this is the song that's in that video. If you want an earworm. If you don't, well, you're just going to get it from me anyway, so you may as well go watch the video. It is, however, based, or the song itself is like from 1970 or something like that. Synth song. I think it is also called Popcorn. So. Oh. Okay, now is that actually the bobbin run out, or is that another break? Let's find out. That is actually the bobbins run out. It's like tricked me multiple times this round. Okay, and we're almost out of this Gutermann thread, which means it's time to make an order. I need some more spools of thread anyway, because I do not want to have to set up the... I need a set for the cylinder arms so that we're not like constantly having to move them back and forth between machines. Because I already dislike changing thread as it is, and then add... Why are you gathering? But then yeah, you add in the factor of like, oh, you actually have to like take it off the other machine to use on this machine. Sounds like an actual nightmare. Alright, the thread actually broke. Because you know, things have been going too smoothly. Too smooth. That's better. Okay. I don't know why that one gets stuck in my head so much. It's just peppy. By the way, 6-year-olds are vicious. They like, we had a piñata for the eldest birthday party, and they're turning 6. And only 3 kids got to hit the frickin' piñata. So next year, if we have a piñata, it's like, okay, because I was allowing them 6 hits because it's 6th birthday party, blah, blah, blah. Apparently, I should have only allowed them like 3. Because, yeah, it was like the 3rd or 4th kid, and it was smashed to bits. I'm like, oh, sorry. Everyone got candy. Because it got smashed off the zip tie, and then I had to like, and then I shook the candy out over top of them, like, make it rain candy. Crazy thing is, it's like, actually no, that's a lie. Dallas and I determined this the other day, because he's like, well, the kids don't even really like candy. I'm like, no, I think it's more they don't like chocolate. They don't eat a lot of chocolate, but they like pick at candy. I think we are finally through all the Halloween stuff. But like, we're definitely not to do the stuff we got at Easter, and that's because it's like, it's mostly chocolate, I think. So I've got to figure out what I'm actually doing for advent calendars this year, because they have not enjoyed the ones we've had the last couple years. So at least the eldest hasn't. I'm really tempted to do one of the like Lego calendars or something like that. Originally, I was going to hand make one. I was stitching a felt one, but it just never happened. That's okay. It's all okay. Shit just doesn't happen And the things I get upset about are reasonable. I'm gonna also need to plan in time to go for a run into Osaka while I'm there, because I need to go back to Nippon Chuko, which is like a supply, like basically wholesale supplies kind of place, because I need to go get more air erase pens and I need rotary blades. That's the other big one. Wait. Can I just like fold it in half like this and measure up in the fucking corner? Yes. Yes, I could. God damn it. I don't need to fold it in. I could just, oh my god. Fine. I just broke my bobbin thread. No, we didn't. We're good. No, I totally. Oh, that's so messy. What the fuck happened there? Why are you so mad? It's only mad on this side, not the other side. That's like terrible. Oof. Okay, pull that out. Cute. Okay. Reset the bobbin. Oh yeah, it's because it popped out of the case. Okay, there we go. Reset the bobbin. The bobbin needs a reset time. Do 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 do. Bobbin reset. Reset the bobbin, and then we go in and stitch again. Do 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 do. That sounded terrible. Might be time to change the needle. Did that actually like weird? Okay. One more time. You gonna behave yourself? Okay, you sound happier now. Good. Holy fuck. Okay, so now we know. Take this, fold it in half, like that. This one is not very square though. God damn. This is getting easier. No, it's not getting. Oh yeah. Okay, let's see. Make sure we're not too badly off. It's fine. Which way is the shiny side? This one. Make it work. Make it work. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take the ruler and we're going to put it here on the corner and we're going to measure up to 13 centimeters. This is a free pattern from YouTube. Hanako Handicraft. It's like more like a tutorial, I guess. No, that's not working. Never mind. She has it everywhere. Anyway, Hanako Handicraft. She's got other ones as well, but this one was the one that caught my attention because I saw this style of bag when I was in Kyoto in 2023 at Toji. And I really like it. Really like it. Okay, let's see if that did actually work, because now that's folded together, it shouldn't be freaking out quite so much. Whee! It did actually work. Okay. But the problem is that this side was, one of the sides was a little bit more uneven. So, okay, so that is actually where we want to be. Oh, I know which book I read that I haven't put on my Goodreads yet. It's We'll Prescribe You a Cat by Sho Ishida. I listened to that as I was prepping for Otafest, and it was good. It was cute. I'm like cozy stuff. So, because right now I'm listening to Ballad of the Fallen Dragons. I'm just like, what is going on? What is the plot? Like, what is the goal here? Because honestly, I feel like we've just kind of wandered away from whatever. We definitely aren't on the original goal. Anyway, so I'm just like, now I'm stuck though, because I'm like, do I finish it? It is for book club. Do I DNF it? There's nothing like super offensive about it, so I'm like, outside the fact that it's like 10 hours into a 30-hour audiobook, and I don't know what the fucking plot is. I should like message the group chat and be like, what is it? Like, what are we actually trying to accomplish here? And I know she's writing it in an epic fantasy style, and so like, that's part of it, right? So everything moves a little bit slower. I'm fine with that. It is epic fantasy. That's fine. But the epic fantasy at least knows where, like, its overarching plot, and that's where it is. It's like it feels very episodic. I think is where it's getting messy right now. I don't know. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but I was just sitting there listening yesterday. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, what is trying to be accomplished right now? Like, that overarching thing, right? So like, at least in the first book, it was like the main character is an assassin, and she's like under this person's control, and she wants to help these people called nulls, which are basically like, yeah, people without magical powers. Perfect. Amazing. She wants to overthrow the Tyrant King. Awesome. There's the plot, right? There's the plot. Overthrow the Tyrant King. I cannot tell you what the plot is right now. It's like, stuff's gonna happen in like 2 weeks, and honestly, I feel like that should be causing more panic, and it's not, and like, I can't tell what's going, like, I also can't tell what we're doing right now, how it's going to, like, I can see maybe where it's gonna drive the plot forward, but it's super obscured right now, like, I don't understand. And she hasn't really had any growth, and he hasn't really had any growth, and I'm like, I'm 45 hours into this series, and it feels like it's going to have another book. I'm like, are we trying to free the, like, caged god? Because that would make sense, but, like, that doesn't feel like what's actually happening. And if it was, why aren't we focusing more on that character then, too? Yeah. Anyway, if you've read it, maybe DM me and let me know if I should stick with it. Is there a Parker When the Moon Hatched series? I know lots of people loved it. I had a really hard time getting into the first book, and then I really enjoyed it by the end. I was like, oh, I really want to see how this resolves at the end. But now that we've literally lost the plot. What is the plot? I don't even know anymore. So if you finish the second book and the plots again, please let me know. Also, I did figure out, I was like, I couldn't listen to the audiobook when I tried to listen last year, and then I figured out that it was the female narrator. She talks way too fast. So I've actually got a 0.9 speed, so it's actually taking me longer to listen to it as well. But it was either that or not finish it at all for me. And then I actually skipped book club because I was just like, oh my God, I need to sew for Otafest. No way around it this month. So, yeah. I mean, there's a few that I'm like super excited about later in the summer, and I'm like, kind of want to read them right now, which I might. I think we're going to be reading Priest by Sierra Simone in July. And then I don't remember, I'm not here for August, so I probably won't read it, but we're doing Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. Although, honestly, the plot of that one, or the synopsis of it, doesn't really like interest me, so I might read The Wish Collector, which sounds way more interesting to me personally. And I think we've got September's. Oh yeah, September's is the Poison Daughter, I think. So. And Callie Hart just announced that she's going to push back the release date of the final Brimstone book, or Quicksilver book. Fae and Alchemy, I think is what it's called, right? That's what that trilogy is called. But that's okay, because she's like, we want to make sure that everything's like sitting good, basically. Like, this is the last book in the series. Let's get it right. And yep, cannot falter for that. And honestly, in some ways, it's probably better because like Aktar is coming, the next like Aktar books are coming out, and it will reduce the burden on the book buying system for this year. So that might be, it might actually honestly be part of the decision. I don't know if it is or not. Oh yeah, it's definitely time for some food on the belly. My stomach just went, all right, it's time to revolt. Two, 3, and 4. Yeah, okay, no, I gotta go put some food on my belly. Then I'll come back downstairs and we will wrap up on the last of these guys. 4 more, like I just counted. So 8 more pieces to small stitch. And then we will pick everything up and we will long stitch it. Excuse me. And then we'll go in and select handle colors. I feel like the tote bin has, like, it will have a lot of webbing, so we're just going to trim down the webbing and from the tote bin, because there's no point in wasting it. We're not going to be using it for totes. Yeah, right there. Okay, I see it. I'm like, where? It's always a question of where is it in this disaster of a studio right now? But it's under the cutting table, which actually is where it should be. Okay, I'll be back in a little bit. I hope you'll join me in like half an hour to 45 minutes, and we'll get a little bit more done here before I gotta go to soccer. So, BRB. are back. Lotion time. And then we'll get into the last of these prepped to go. Flynn's over here like, ugh, why are you back? Disturbing my slumber. Hey, Mr. Doze. How are you? Mr. Dozy. Okay. Almost there. Almost there. People be coming from everywhere, 'cause I'm almost there. Hell yeah, there we go. Ha ha ha. Ho ho. Good. So this is one of the new fabrics. It's Black Cat's Amongst Nadashiko. If you're like, I have heard that before, it's dianthus. I was like looking at them the first couple times we were working with it. And I'm like, these look like dianthus. And then I looked it up, and Nadashiko are in the dianthus family. So that's super cool. So if you want, but they are fancy dianthus. They're very fancy dianthus. And I highly encourage you to take a look at them because basically they're very like frilly, frondy, floaty dianthus. It's actually really cool. So apparently they're actually a fall flower in Japan, which is also kind of neat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is 4 to go. By the way, if you're wondering what the Ego box is, because I'm realizing that it's very vibrantly like placed up in the picture, that's what the laptop's sitting on. We're very fancy around here. But hey, it's sturdy. I've used it for like probably close to 3 years now. Definitely for the last 2. So, reusing as much as we can. gone up to the temperature it said it was going to? I do not see. I thought there was actually thunderstorms building earlier, but now they have dispersed. So I'm like, okay. Are we in for another like false call on the rain? We could use the rain. So I'm kind of hoping we still get rain. But so far it is like sunshiny bluebird day. Yay. Okay. I don't know where all this thread is from. Definitely not from this bag. It's all like blue. It's obi for sure, but I'm like, why is it all mixed in here? The cottons and the obi don't normally cross paths. Oh well. Okay, where are we at? I think this one needs to be backed off a little bit. Good. Oh shoot, yep. Okay, so we need to also pull the... I was just like, wait, we need to put tags in these things, but they can go on the long seams, which makes more sense anyway. But we do need to put those in on the next round of seams that I stitch here. Glad I remembered now. Okay. Yay, last two. We're almost done. At least, yeah, I've done like half. Kind of, not really. All right, last interior to do a short stitch on. Okay. Marking. We need a bunch of tags to go on the inside. And then we need to sew the long edges. All right, so we've got 30. I think there's like one cotton linen blend in there. I think we've got a tag for, no, it's an OB. Nope. Okay, cool. Oh shit. Okay. We might be, I need to probably, yeah. Okay, there's enough here for sure for now, but I need to, actually, I think I figured out, we're gonna end up going through like a Chinese manufacturer again for tags because there's no one in Canada anymore. Not the way I would like to do it, but the place in Quebec like closed a couple years ago. Without warning, that was like probably the biggest piss off about it. I do not know where my pinking shears are, but it's okay. Yeah, anyway, I was looking on AliExpress and there's a bunch of people who will do something similar to this. So that's how we'll go through. Same prices, Quebec, which is also annoying. But good. It's good. I'm just glad I found someone who like can hopefully print the same thing. Yeah, but that's a good indication that I need to actually get them rolling. I have not kept track of how many we've got. I don't think this pile's big enough yet, but we need to trim these apart, and then we'll go in and we sew all the long edges along with the thing in, and then we need to do, from what I remember, these need like a little bit of at least a seam roller open, preferably a press open. I don't always like doing the press open because I find that I burn my fingers a lot. So we'll see if the iron's feeling spicy today or not. I guess I could always use the mini press as well. But I find that clipping the edges of these open so that I can like spread the seam open helps quite a bit. So, and also we need to actually, yeah, we will need to press these open because that's right. It's not just that. It's the basically it's a it helps with the lining to line up with the exterior when we turn them so that they're like nice and pretty for stuff, for finishing. There we go. We typically get there eventually. Sometimes it just takes longer than other times. Yeah, we're probably about a third of the way through the work right now. So let's go to as much as I said that the nap was restored this night, I might still go back upstairs and nap again before I pick up the kids. Like I said, I think I'm like, that's the one portion of it is it's like I was able to run the half, but then it's like the recovery is just taking more of a toll on my body, to be honest. And also being on Ozempic and stuff like that, even though it's like diabetes treatment, it's like you're just not able to consume the calories for repair like you would be able to normally. Well, at least that the rain holds off for today. I've got chicken thighs in the fridge and corn. So I'm gonna like grill chicken, barbecue chicken, and some corn. I love barbecued corn. It's delicious. It's one of my favorite like veggies. My kids will enjoy that as well, I think. And it realistically shouldn't take that long after we get back from soccer to cook that either. How many of these am I actually going to get done for Sunday? Who knows? Maybe all of them. Maybe none of them. I should get some done, but... No, come back. Ugh. Like completely down here. Alright. I also do still need to go get some more bobbins for the cylinder arm. They're a different size from the ones that are in this, and they're actually big, guys. Oh no, we snagged a corner here. Which means we just need to go back over it. See, rip it out. Go back over it. And we'll be good. Okay. Right. Canvas is always after the exterior fabric. Clip, clip. Okay. So now what we do is we open it up and it gets these, well, not even really open it up. We just stitch along here. Get the other sides like placed together. And if you guys ever have any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. I'm more than happy to help have this stream of consciousness like directed. Because I definitely don't have any direction for it. It just is not quite everything that pops into my head, but a good chunk of everything that pops into my head. It's 100% cotton. It's slippery. Cats. If you're like, why are you calling them pixel cats? That's why. I think we're going to put a pink handle in this one when we get to it. Pink or brown, I can't decide yet. We'll put them together and see which ones we prefer. The stitching in of the webbing handles in these gyoza bags is the only time I pretty much use pins anymore. Mostly because it's the only way to make sure that that webbing stays where it's supposed to stay. Some last of the Snow Fairy fabric from the 2022. Although I do have some more coming up, which I'm super excited about. Just so you know, Flynn is over here just like sawing logs. Some black cats with moons to hopefully continue a little bit of our moon joy. I think NASA actually just released the information for Artemis 3 and like the mission plans, which is kind of cool. Oh, we have 2 cotton linens, okay, because the hedgies are also cotton linen. So I haven't actually read what the plans are, but I should go ahead and do that. Plus high, like black cats with moons is like so good. Says the like Sailor Moon fan. this like Fuji with Dobby with the aqua should probably have a bright blue handle is what I'm leaning towards while I'm looking at it right now. And this will either have red or that bright blue as well, although yellow would be really nice contrast. Is the top of the parasols being yellow? So a lot of these, as I mentioned, were like cut intended to be for totes, but that worked because they're basically squares. Now the issue I have though is I have a bunch of these that were prepped to become totes. They're like half canvas, half like exterior fabric, and now I'm like, okay, so what do we do with them? I haven't decided yet. I'm debating if I should just trim them down and like make a run of small wedge bags with canvas bottoms. I think that is the top contender for me right to my brain right now. I don't know yet. Hell, I could even make them small box bags with a canvas bottom if I really want to in some ways. Or maybe a half and half. I wonder if it would look good if I did like do a what just popped into my head is a like large box bag-esque. They're not exactly the right dimensions, but it might be cute. So a lot of them still could become gyoza bags and stuff like that, because once the canvas got added to the bottom, they made the square shape again. But now I'm like, I was overzealous in my prep last year and got a lot of them to the point of like almost done. And then they didn't sell last year, so that's why they're off the menu. But now I've got a bunch that I'm like, oh no. Did I not? No, I did not put a tag in here. Okay. Okay, we're going to ignore that then. It's too, like, yeah, we need to do it. We'll pull it out when we're doing the chain piece cut down. How are you been? That's still not for you. It's just like, this bobbin has to be running out soon. Ha ha, and it ran out. Mr. Cat, what's up? Hi, you look so disgruntled. Okay, we'll finish up this stitching, and then I do have to head out whenever we're done this portion. We're well over halfway, so that's pretty good. The massage therapist yesterday was like, do you use your left hand more? And I'm like, no, I'm right hand dominant. But then I was thinking about it afterwards. I'm like, oh wait, no, it's like the guiding hand for the fabric and my dominant phone hand. So yes, I guess. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Sweet. Yeah, this is way faster than because it's just turn the brain off. So the steam, more or less. Not perfectly, but definitely a lot more than you need to stop at the mark. Not that that is okay. I make that sound so taxing. It is not, but it is definitely more mental power than just so the seam straight. Tag in. This is also cotton linen. Oh well. Just make sure that we use this other one to put in. It's like we've only got one. No, there's been 3. Oh well. Alright, we are nearly done this pile. Bags. Well, interior seams. right, so if you're in the Calgary area this weekend, I will be at the Inglewood DIY pop-up from 10 to 3 at the Festival Hall in Inglewood. And yeah, we'll hopefully have a lot of these like Nadashiko, oh my god, that's the fabric, not the style. We'll have a lot of gyoza bags finished, and then hopefully a few other somethings, I don't know what yet. We're working on it. Yeah. And if you're not, I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. I will not be streaming tomorrow because I will have a kiddo home probably. I don't think they want to go back to school after their appointment. Maybe they will, who knows. We'll figure that out tomorrow. But we're almost wrapped up here, so I figured I would just hop in to say that while we're finishing. Yeah, and I'll be back on Monday because I got shit to do on Monday. I'm gonna try and get the small box bag bin cleared for now because we're gonna want to go in and add a bunch of new fabric. Small box bag. Actually, I don't know if we're gonna do that or if I'm gonna try and clear the traveler slings or both. Maybe both. Last two here. Stitches right there. And yes, it is a very full back of sewing table there with the everything being chain piece. right, last one, and then I will say matane, which means I'll see you later. See you soon. And there we are. All right, I hope you guys all have a fantastic weekend. And as I mentioned, if you're in the Calgary area, come out and see us all down at Inglewood DIY Festival this weekend at the Festival Hall in Inglewood, 10 to 3. And if nothing else, I'll see you on Monday.